Hello, Melissa Crook here from the Feel Podcast. I'm so excited to have you with me here today. It's an Empowerment Tuesday, and we're doing something new here. We're going live from Substack, and we're going to be doing this now on our Tuesdays. We're going to be looking at ways to increase engagement. We really want you in the conversation with us. And so we're hoping doing these live empowerment discussions with me each Tuesday will invite you into that, help you feel safe coming to a place where you can ask your questions in the Substack community. We have been doing these with our panels on YouTube. And the great thing about YouTube is you get out to a ton of people. The tough thing about YouTube is you can get some trolling and some really, at times some, inappropriate, unsafe comments. And I'm hoping that by doing lives here in Substack, we can create that safety where people really feel like they can come into this feeling seen, known, and heard without any of the rudeness or lack of empathy or care that you can have out in the big wide world where it feels like this is a little more of a protected space here. So we want to try that. So today I'm bringing you our Empowerment Tuesday conversation. We're talking about living out feel. Finding empowerment, embracing layers. That is our acronym. That is everything that this platform is built around, the FEEL framework. If you're new to us, the FEEL framework embodies 8 key questions and 3 key talking points, or questions, I guess you'd say. 8. Yeah, they're kind of questions, kind of talking points, all designed to be questions that I want you asking yourself regularly, because I have learned in my journey of unpacking and healing and growing and unlearning, if I ask myself these things on a regular basis, depending on the season of my life, that might be weekly, quarterly, monthly, yearly, daily sometimes, it'll help me stay on track. It'll help me to live in touch, present as my healthiest, most authentic self. And this requires intention, and it requires us making the choice to do this for ourselves, but also remembering that we are valuable and we are worthy of that and living from that. So today we're going to talk about living out feel and what that does for our relationship with ourselves and our relationship with other people. But a quick review, if you're new to this, is feel encompasses embracing your layers, all those pieces and parts that make up your story, the parts you love, the parts you don't love so much, with curiosity rather than judgment. And being able to, you don't have to love all the layers, but the willingness to acknowledge them and no longer keep them in the corners with shame or fear or trying to run away from them. It's that ability to embrace, because we are not defined by our best or worst decision. And I want to even take best or worst off of it, because life is built on a myriad of experiences. Some we love, some we don't love, some that we have a part in that it happened to us, and some that happen to us that we have no control over. But we always get to decide that we can process them, learn from them, heal from them, move through them, grow from them. We don't have to stay stuck, whether it's staying stuck in the wonderful and denying the tough things happening around us, or staying stuck in the tough and not allowing the beautiful things around us in. We want to be able to embrace all those parts of our layers. So that's step 1. The next step is asking yourself 5 activities that nourish you. 5 words on how you want to feel the next 6 months. How would you describe yourself by your character traits? Who you are, not what you do. Adjectives, those things that I'm spirited, I'm hopeful, I am excited, I'm stubborn. All those things that describe your personality. Really having our foundation and knowing who we are, knowing those activities that nourish us, that fill our cup, that help us feel fully resourced, and those words on how we want to feel the next 6 months. How are we contributing to getting there? What are we doing to take action to allow ourselves to actually be in that space in the next 6 months? And this really builds the framework to then allow us to know what fills my cup. So therefore, what is part of my self-care? The next step is, after answering those three questions, is what am I doing for that? Am I incorporating any of these activities that nourish me? Am I considering who I am as a person? Does what I'm doing now for my self-care still meet my needs, or do I need to make some shifts and get present with that? Setting healthy boundaries. Again, going back to those three core questions we asked earlier about what fills our cup and who we are. Look at your calendar. Is your calendar a reflection of that? Or do you need to set some healthy boundaries around your time, your spaces, the people that you're spending it with? Do you need to start saying no to a few things? And remembering, no period is a complete sentence. We don't need to over explain or justify. And so those healthy boundaries, making those connections between our mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, sexual, financial health, they're all connected. They all impact each other. Are we able to name those? Are we allowing ourselves to feel those things and move through them? And I feel very strongly there's no negative or positive, good or bad emotions. Emotions are clues. Emotions are clues to let us know what's going on inside us, what needs to be felt, what needs to be processed. Showing up for ourselves unapologetically, which then therefore lends us to be able to show up for other women unapologetically. No more saying I'm sorry for showing up in a room or taking up space. We deserve to be there. We have a voice, we have something to offer, and so do the other women around us. They're not a threat. There's no scarcity mindset. We all bring something unique and special. So let's show up for ourselves without apologizing for it, and let's invite other women into that as well. That's how we create safe, healthy spaces for all of us. Living by your why and your values, knowing what those things are. Again, those three questions you asked earlier, those activities that nourish you and who you are and those healthy boundaries, all of those things let you know what you value, what your why is, what lights you up every day when you get up. So are you living from those spaces? Again, going back to that calendar, is it a reflection of that? Living out of your own expectations versus others' expectations. Is your life defined by what you are looking for, what you desire, what you feel aligned with? Or are you allowing other people to decide that for you? So living out of those own expectations. And if you do have a clear set of expectations and healthy boundaries and values that you want to be living from, are you communicating those to other people? Or are you expecting them to read your mind? So the communication piece here is very important. And this gives you an idea into living out feel, finding empowerment, embracing layers. When you incorporate all of these entities, these questions, these things from what I call the feel framework, this enables you to live out feel. And that's what we're talking about today. So within that, more questions to ask yourself. How does living out feel impact your relationships, first with yourself and then with other people? And you really, on all of these things, I always go back to starting with you, because that's who you are accountable to. That's what you can control. You're not responsible for other people in getting them to do this. That is their responsibility to do it. But you are responsible to yourself. It's not other people's responsibility to make you happy or fill a void. It's your responsibility to know who you are, to incorporate those activities that nourish you and fill your cup and care for you. And that can look like making sure you're getting enough water and fueling yourself throughout the day. It can look like that healthy walk in nature where you breathe in the air. It can look like breathing exercises. All these things are choices you get to make for you. And they don't have to be a big amount of time. But this is how you invest in you. And you get clear with you and you accept the layers of you. And when you're able to show that empathy and care and support and accountability to yourself, it then opens the door for you to be able to engage with that in that way with other people. You're no longer looking for relationships to fill a void in your life. You're looking for relationships to add to your life, and you're inviting people in your life that want that for themselves as well. When we embrace our layers and we connect with ourselves, we have the capacity to view others with curiosity, with grace, with empathy, with kindness, because we have learned how to embrace this within ourselves. And again, like I said, we then will surround ourselves with people that want that for themselves, that want that with their relationships with each other. Instead of needing someone, we choose someone. We have learned to meet our needs and understand that we are responsible for our own well being, not for others, and others are not responsible for ours. It adds to our well being, it enhances, it can fill us up in so many ways: joy, pleasure, community. But that work starts within each of us to then show up healthy, not only for ourselves and in those relationships. And it takes the pressure off relationships being something that they were never intended to be. All right, so what are some ways to engage with this? Take a look at how you engage and treat the people you are in relationship. If it doesn't feel healthy to you, if it feels a little trauma informed or codependent or need based rather than want based, take a look at that and then go back to you. How do you engage with yourself? What does your self talk look like? Are you leading a conversations when you need help with, oh, I'm sorry, but, or are you leading with, hey, I need a minute of your time. Can we look at today or is there another time? You're showing up without apology. Are you doing that with yourself already? Are those some things you need to stop and take a look at so that you can start engaging with yourself in a healthy way, which then again opens that door to like, oh, wait a minute. This is what I'm seeing happening in this relationship. Maybe how do I have a conversation here where maybe we can turn the corner or approach this a different way? Or is this a relationship that wants to be healthy? And these are all questions we can ask ourselves. Again, it will be very hard to engage with others in a healthy way if you aren't first engaging with yourself in a healthy way. And so I wanted to bring these conversations here. Leave your questions in the chat. If you're watching now and you're not sure what your questions are, that's okay. That's okay. You can just go ahead and leave them later. I will come back to them. I will answer them later on. So whether you're watching this live now or you watch the recording of it later on, we want this to be an open space for you to come to. So know that every Tuesday, starting today, moving forward, I'm going to be here live at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern time with a conversation. I call them one-on-one empowerment sessions. And they're just that little reminder of what's already inside you that maybe you need to just tap into to remind yourself of a way that you can live healthy and authentic to yourself that week. And if you need more support on it, let me know. Send me a message here. Go to embracinglayers.com and fill out that contact form. We've got a ton of resources to help you live your healthiest, most authentic life. And that starts with these conversations here. So I'm looking forward to engaging with you every Tuesday on here on Substack. And again, if you can't catch it live, put your questions in the chat and we'll come back to you and answer them later. Thanks so much for being with me today here on the Field Podcast. Take good care, and I'll see you next time here. Have a great week, and remember, you are valuable, you are worthy, and you get to choose. Thanks so much for being with me.